Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. The title of today's webinar is Ticket Types, Formats, and Transmissions 101. My name is Jan Jenkins. I am your OKI 811 Member Relations Specialist. I'm joined today by Eva Donahue, our OKI 811 Member Services Liaison. Together, we will be presenting information that we believe will help you better understand the various ticket types, formats, transmission methods that we use here at OKI 811. First, let's go over a few housekeeping items. All attendees are in listen-only mode. Please feel free to use the chat or QA feature to ask any questions at any time. We will be answering your questions at the end of today's presentation. Today's webinar will give you an in-depth overview of the full range of ticket types, ticket formats, and transmission options at OKI 811. We will also highlight upcoming changes, including the planned sunset of legacy custom formats and the transition to standardized formats. This webinar was created with you in mind to assist you with choosing the best option for your organization. Okay, let's get started. We'll begin by reviewing the different types of tickets handled by OKI 811. First, we will cover examples of dig tickets, which are submitted when digging is planned. Later, we'll move on to non-dig ticket notices, which are used when no digging is taking place. For your reference, relevant sections of Oklahoma law are cited at the bottom of several webinar pages. The most commonly created ticket at OKI 811 is known as a normal ticket. This ticket type is used to notify OKI 811 of a new scope of excavation work. This ticket informs you, our member, when digging has taken place near your registered assets, commonly known as service areas. It does require at least 3 business days from the excavator before they may begin digging, excluding weekends and holidays. Once issued, a normal ticket remains valid for a period of 14 calendar days. An emergency request ticket is used when there is an immediate threat to health, life, or property. Unlike normal tickets, an emergency ticket allows the excavation to begin immediately. However, it is critical that the excavator take every precaution to protect the public and underground facilities. If possible, our damage prevention agents ask that at least a 2 hours notice be provided to our members. If you are receiving false emergency notices, please include a note with your positive response. Misuse of emergency tickets may result in penalties to the excavator from the member company. Remark tickets are created if the excavation will continue beyond the initial 14 calendar days, or if markings have become unclear or faded and the excavator states markings need to be refreshed. This ticket ensures the work remains accurately marked. While there is no specific remark law, this requirement is supported by provisions in 2 sections of the Oklahoma statute. If a project extends beyond 14 calendar days, but the existing markings are still clearly visible, an extend ticket should be requested. Once submitted, it's up to the facility owner or operator to decide whether locators will be dispatched to the site. While the Damage Prevention Act doesn't specifically mention extend tickets, it does outline 2 rules that make them necessary. If one or more facility operators fail to respond to a locate request, within the required time frame or by the next day for an emergency request, or the excavator has informed us that they have not received an adequate response from a member or operator. One example is that a member may respond clear, but there may be a sign at the dig site that indicates that the member has registered underground facilities at that location. A second or third notice may be issued. Our damage prevention agents will confirm with the excavator that the follow-up request is valid. Please note, additional fees apply for these tickets. $2 charge for second notice and $3 charge for third notice. No company is exempt from these additional notice fees. Only non-responding operators are notified. Facility operators are strongly encouraged to respond promptly to prevent delays and to help maintain safety at the job site. Another ticket type that members may receive is a correction ticket. The correction ticket is used to add non-scope of work, changing information such as gate codes, meeting arrangements, email addresses, etc. A scope of work change examples would be that the original locate request asked to locate the front yard of the property, but in actuality, the backyard needs to be marked. In this example, the excavator would have to submit a new locate request ticket for the backyard instead of a correction ticket. And the reason is the scope of work has changed. Also, if you receive a ticket that contains incorrect information, such as inaccurate addresses, incorrect driving directions, or other similar issues. Cancellation tickets are submitted when the excavator contacts Okie 811 before the scheduled start date and time to cancel a job. Usually because the project is canceled, postponed indefinitely, or is no longer needed. In the Okie 811 portal, positive response code number 13, which is cancel request, is automatically placed or applied to the cancel ticket. Note that this process may vary if your company uses a third-party system like Cortera or Earth. This ticket type graph shows the number of each ticket type received by Okie 811 during the month of August. Normal tickets being the largest number of tickets processed, followed by remarked tickets. Next, we'll go over non-dig ticket types. These are notification tickets where digging should not be taking place. Okay, occasionally a member may receive a demolition ticket. Demolition projects require two separate tickets. The first ticket is a demolition notice, not a locate request. It must be submitted no less than 7 business days and no more than 60 business days before the structure is scheduled for demolition, excluding the day of notification, weekends, and holidays. This allows utility owners time to disconnect services from the structure. The second ticket is the actual locate request and must be submitted 48 hours before demolition begins. This notifies the members and the dispatch of their locators to mark any existing underground utilities to ensure safe demolition. Please note that a positive response is required for both tickets. A damage report ticket is a non-dig ticket required under Oklahoma law. A damage report ticket is a notification of damage to an underground facility or utility equipment, such as fire hydrants or broken pedestals. Damage reports are immediately sent to all members with underground utilities in the area. These reports help prevent delayed leaks, outages, or hazards and supports quick coordination between the excavator and utility operators to protect public safety. Another type of ticket that a member may receive is a design survey ticket. This ticket type is submitted during the design or engineering phase of a project. It asks facility operators to provide maps or markings to help identify existing underground utilities and prevent potential conflicts. Please note, no excavation may take place under a design survey request. Okie 811 does offer a recorded webinar on design survey requests, which is available to you on our Learning Hub page, on our website at okie811.org. Both excavators and member companies are encouraged to watch the video for additional guidance and information. Pre-excavating meetings are held to facilitate early communication between the excavator and facility operators for large projects, helping coordinate efforts and resources in advance. Meeting requests must be submitted at least 14 calendar days before excavation. Members are required to provide a positive response in the Okie 811 portal within 72 hours using code number 16 for will not attend. Code number 16 for will attend, or code number 17 for will not attend. The pre-excavation meeting is optional. This process helps support safer, more coordinated digging. There is marking scheduled, developed, and it will indicate if the meeting will be held in person or virtual. Excavator submits ticket based on the schedule. Facility operators respond via Okie 811 portal. Excavators verify marks and digs with care. Again, code 16 for will attend and code 17 for will not attend. A wildland fire break. This is a ticket that is extremely rare type of notice. It may be issued when a wildfire is actively occurring in a county and there is a risk to underground infrastructure. In such cases, local fire departments may contact Okie 811 to report the situation. Okie 811 coordinates with the emergency responders. An emergency notice may be issued when underground facilities are in immediate danger. These notices are processed as emergency tickets and help protect critical infrastructure and ensures safe coordination with the first responders. This chart illustrates the number of non-dig ticket notifications received by Okie 811 during the month of August, with design survey requests leading the way. Well, we hope this information that we've shared so far has helped clarify the difference between dig tickets and non-dig ticket notifications at Okie 811. Thank you for your time today. And up next, Eva will walk us through some important details on ticket formats and ticket transmissions. Okay, Eva.
Thank you, Jan, and good afternoon, everyone. We're first going to start off discussing some challenges and upcoming changes with ticket formats. Then we're going to take a look at the format options that are available to you, as well as the sunsetting of legacy formats. But as we discuss the formats, we do encourage you to explore your options today as we're going through these formats and take the next step towards greater efficiency. So first, we're going to start off with some challenges and upcoming changes with ticket formats. Currently, Oki 811 has several custom formats across the membership. And having so many different custom formats creates a challenge for us because it's harder to maintain all those different customized formats and support those. So, and it also creates inconsistency in the tickets and the information on the tickets that are transmitted to our members because of all the custom fields and information required. So, what's coming? We are going to be sunsetting those legacy or custom formats. So we encourage you as we go through the formats, we're going to kind of look at the formats that are going to be available to you. And we just, again, encourage you to look for opportunities to streamline those operations and choosing the best format. So first format is the HTML format, which is hypertext markup language, which is basically used to create and structure content on web pages. Some of the strengths for HTML is that it does work on all browsers such as Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, so it's universally compatible. Some of the limitations is it has limited styling ability and it's not scalable by itself. It'll need to work with alongside other technologies for to be fully functional for the websites. And then the HTML is our default format. We only have one HTML option is the one you see here. So if you haven't chosen a specific format for receiving your tickets, you're more than likely going to be on this HTML format, which is the default format. Next is our plain text format. It's plain text is basically text. It doesn't include any styles, colors, fonts. It only supports standard characters like letters, numbers, and punctuations. Some of the strengths of a plain text format is that it works on any device or platform, so it's very cross-compatible. It's also good for automation and scripting. Some of the limitations, though, again, is like it doesn't have any styling or include any hyperlinks or anything like that. The structure is very basic. So we currently have two custom plain text formats that will be sunsetted. This view here is the new plain text format. Next is our XML formats. With XML, it is basically data, the way the data is listed and shown and organized using custom tags. So you can see on this view here, you'll see there's tags before and after the data included on the text. So the black is the black text is the data, and so it shows in the tags in red before and after that data. Some of the strengths of XML formats is that, like I mentioned, it uses tags, so it's very compatible with the different systems, and it's easily read by machines. So it's future ready and supports scalability for future to continue in the future with using XML formats. And then some of the limitations is that it's not really meant for visually display, unlike HTML that we looked at earlier. So currently we do have 9 custom XML formats that will be sunsetted. This is the new XML format, and you'll see the arrows that's pointing here. This is a good example of what we mentioned earlier about some of the ticket inconsistencies in ticket information. We noticed on some custom XML formats that it didn't have the code. So now going forward, when the custom formats get sunsetted, then everybody on the new XML format will be receiving the same information, which will include the code. It now shows the ticket source here. And then this next slide also shows some additional information. You'll see this new format also includes GPS coordinates for the dig site and the buffer, and it includes all points of that polygon that's drawn for the dig site and the buffer. And what this can be very helpful because here you can take this information and parse it into your system and create the exact dig box and buffer included on the locate request ticket. overlay it and view it based on in comparison to your underground facilities. This is just a formats overview to help you choose the best option for you and your organization. You can see just the differences, some of the pros. For plain text is it's easy to use and universally compatible and supported. HTML, it looks better. It's visually structured. And then XML, it's machine readable and it can be very helpful with automation. So those are some things to keep in mind. You definitely want to look at the tools and software that's required and choose what works best for your organization. As mentioned, those legacy formats will be sunsetted. The date is still yet to be determined, but of course, once that date is set, we will notify and communicate to all the members on the account what that date would be and when the information when those formats will be sunsetted. To view your legacy formats, it's very simple. You can log into the portal with your OP username, and then you'll select your dispatch code under the membership information tab. And once you select your dispatch code, you'll be able to view all your dispatch information, which will include your outputs. And you can see here on this image here, it has legacy highlighted. And so that shows these are currently on legacy formats that will be sunsetted. So just keep in mind which format options you'll want to use. Again, we'll have that HTML, which is the default, plain text, and XML. If you're on a parsing email, you more than likely may want to switch to plain text or move to XML. If you're on any of the legacy, it's probably those two that you'll want to move to. This is just an overview of the current formats that are in place across the membership. You'll see that the most commonly used format for ticket notifications is the HTML or default format, and the automated voice notifications. The parsing email formats are the plain text formats. So we have a large number of those parsing email legacy formats that are still in use, that where those that are using those legacy formats will need to look at the new plain text format. So just remember to be proactive and work towards updating your legacy formats. You can, those new formats, the new XML format, you can see is we have some that are already on that. It's the V2. We have some on already listed on that, as well as the new plain text format. So these are available if you want to start working towards the transitioning to the new formats today. We're happy to help you with that. Next, what we're going to cover is the ticket transmissions and delivery options that you have. First, we're going to discuss what an output is and understanding the information on the output, and then the electronic transmission options you have available, as well as voice delivery options available. So let's start out with what is an output. An output is a data process where information is transmitted from OKI 811's ticket notification system to the member or recipient, and it includes information such as the transmission method, so the type, how we're transmitting this information to you, and then the data format. Here it shows the default format, so that will be the HTML format, and then the destination address, what address are we sending these locate request notifications to. You can see here there's an email here for this address. So that's the information that is contained on an output. So that's something you want to keep in mind, as well as you're looking on how you want to receive this information. While you're looking at your additional outputs, we do encourage you to just see the number of outputs that you have, and just remember that there is an additional output maintenance fee for each dispatch code. So all members receive one primary output at no additional charge as their basic service, and any additional outputs will incur that $180 for each additional output set up under each dispatch. So you can see here the green arrow is showing the primary output, which the output label includes primary output. So that'll tell you that that's your free output, and then the two additional outputs with the red arrow next to it does incur that $180 fee. So the first transmission method that we're going to talk about today is fax. Fax is the least recommended because it's a little more slow and manual. It's hard to track delivery status, and it's limited on automation and scalability. It is also an expensive delivery option because you are being charged for $1 for each ticket that you that is delivered via fax. And this is in addition to your ticket fees that you see on your annual bill. So you are getting charged $1 for each fax that you receive via fax. And then also, we just want to encourage you, if you are using fax, we do encourage you to move to a digital delivery because it is much faster and easier to track, handles more volume, it's just more cost effective and also more scalable with technology. Next is email delivery. Email is the fastest and most used method of ticket delivery. It is universal because most everyone already has an email address, therefore it's most convenient. We do encourage you to check your email settings if you are receiving tickets via fax or set up or move to fax. We do encourage you to set up your email settings and add Okie 811 to your safe senders list to ensure emails do not get blocked or directed to your junk folder. Email delivery also gives you better control of your tickets by providing a direct email address or creating a group email address to control who's receiving the tickets. Next is the FTP delivery. This is another fast and often used method of ticket delivery. FTP transfers data as a file from server to server. It supports automation and is widely supported and flexible. We also do have secure FTP also available. So if you are interested in secure FTP, we just reach out to our member services team at that email address shown here on the screen if you're interested in moving to SFTP. Just note that FTP, if you are wanting to look into the FTP delivery, we're happy to answer any questions that you have, but just know that it does require setup and software to receive tickets via FTP. And then next we have HTTP delivery. This is a newer delivery option that you have available to you, and it facilitates and the transfer of data over the internet to an HTTP endpoint such as a URL or web address. It is the most efficient option, and it is is very automated. There's a lot of automation you can do with receiving HTTP. And it's also highly scalable. And then it also is very flexible. It integrates easily with existing systems. So we also have secure HTTP available. Again, if you have any questions on it or interested in moving to this method, then reach out to our member services team. And again, just know that it does require some software and setup on your end as well to receive tickets via HTTP. And again, just a reminder to add Okie 811 to your safe senders information. This information here listed includes our domain or what email address the tickets will come from, and then our IP addresses. This information is also listed in our membership guide on our website at okie811.org, and then you'll select the facility operators page. So if you need this information, be sure, again, it is very helpful, especially when you're getting tickets that have so many tickets coming in at the same time due to a large project being done in your area or something. Adding this will help keep the ticket notifications from being blocked. We also have text message as a delivery option. Text messages are directed to your phone number, of course, that you specify. It's the ticket information via text is limited, but it does include ticket number, ticket type, contact name, phone number, and worksite address and county, as you can see here underneath the title of the slide. The text will contain a link to the Okie 811 portal, so you can easily view the ticket information. So you can, once you receive that text, you can click that link and go to the portal to view the full ticket information. And we do highly recommend that the text message should only be used as an additional output and not a primary output, of course, due to the limited information from the ticket that is included. So this is an overview of the electronic transmission options that you have available to you. We encourage you to choose the transmission that works best for your company's goals for receiving and responding to locate tickets in the most efficient way. Next, we're going to talk about voice delivery options. Basically, the intent of these voice delivery options is just an additional notification to alert contacts of a ticket with less than 24 hours notice, ensuring timely awareness and response. Basically, these are in addition to the electronic notifications that you receive. As a heads up, these voice deliveries are very helpful for when those incoming electronic transmissions aren't monitored as closely, such as like after hours, weekends, and holidays. Majority of our membership, as we seen earlier with the charts, that majority of our membership do receive voice delivery notifications for that reason, for those after hours, weekends, and holidays. First, we're going to talk about the automated emergency short notice call notifications. These are automated calls that are directed to phone numbers that you provided, and it will go directly to a person, or the number that's provided should go directly to a person or their voicemail, because these automated calls cannot navigate phone menus. The automated calls, they read information from the ticket, including the ticket number, worksite details, but these call notifications are a secondary backup notification that are made in addition to the electronic transmission of the locate request. For these calls to be most effective, the emergency short notice calls should be directed to a personnel who receives the electronic notifications or will be locating the underground facilities and have access to the portal. So basically going to the ones that are responding to these tickets is how these phone notifications can be most effective. Next is the manual voice deliveries. We have these available as well. And again, they are for emergency short notice tickets delivered by Okie 811 representative instead of an automated system. So during the call, all the ticket information is read to the member. The manual voice deliveries are an expensive premium service. At the time of these manual voice deliveries do incur a $5 per ticket delivered, so that it is very expensive premium service. But sometimes, again, all these options are available to you. You want to use what works best for your company's processes and procedures, and for the most efficient method used to processing and responding to the locates. This is just an overview of the outputs delivered by how each ticket, all the tickets are delivered. So you'll see that the delivery method of tickets for this is for the entire membership. And you'll notice the most largely used method is email delivery, and then the next is the automated voice notifications. Again, all these options are available to you. We just encourage you to choose the delivery method that best fits your organization's goals. And so now just a summary of the ticket delivery options. One, keep in mind that there is a primary output that you receive at no cost, and each additional output will incur a fee. And then also the fax and manual voice fees that are incurred when you receive a ticket via fax or manual voice. Remember that email, FTP, and HTTP are the most used and preferred methods of ticket delivery. Again, we do not recommend text as a primary output due to the limited ticket information that is transmitted. We also, again, do not recommend fax as an output, but again, that is available if that is what works best for your company. And then also keep in mind those emergency and short notice calls are used to be used as an addition to your electronic notifications. So the electronic notification should be what you're monitoring and working off of, and then these call notifications are in addition to as a heads up of the short notice notifications. And then also manual voice is a premium service for members. If you choose that option, just remember it is the most time consuming and expensive method of ticket transmission. Again, however, if that is what works best for you to protect and respond to your locate request notifications and protect your facilities, then that option is still available. All right, just some highlights and action items for today's webinar. First of all, make sure to understand the law requirements, understand what the requirements are for each ticket type for the safety and protection of your facilities. Be sure to respond on time for all ticket notifications to help eliminate any unnecessary fees and for the protection, of course, of your assets. And then evaluate and choose the right transmission method for your operations. Choose what works best for you and try to choose an option that is efficient and can carry on into the future. Also, we strongly encourage you to be proactive and plan for the sunset of custom formats. Choose the replacement format that works best for your organization and the future. Prioritize structured formats like XML for long-term efficiency. We can provide test tickets on the new formats. We encourage you, like I said, if you are interested in doing test tickets and transitioning to a different format prior to the sunset of the custom formats, then reach out to our member services team. We're happy to help you in any way we can. We can set up and schedule some test tickets on the new formats, and then once we get those test tickets and everything is working as intended, then we can schedule a go live to transition you to the new format or the new transmission method. But if you have any questions or anything like that, again, we're happy to help. So just reach out to our member services team at any time. All right, and Jan, that takes us to questions. Do we have any questions?
No, Eva, we sure don't. No questions.
Okay. All right. Well, again, we would just like to thank everyone for joining us today. Before we end, though, we'd appreciate hearing your feedback on today's performance. Your feedback helps us improve for future webinars and ensures we're delivering content that's truly helpful to you. So you can complete the survey by scanning the QR code on this webinar and let us know how we did, or we do value your content suggestions, so we do highly encourage you to let us know how we did and provide feedback on the content that you would like to see. Again, if you do have any questions, this is our members services support team. You can reach out to us at any time. We're happy to help in any way we can. Definitely want to help you get transitioned to the new formats before those other ones are sunset. So again, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We're happy to help. We hope everyone enjoyed today's webinar. Thank you and stay safe.